We have liftoff of the Apollo 11 Destination Moon exhibit at the Museum of Flight. And speaking of liftoff, check this out. This is a Rocketdyne F1 engine that helped propel the Apollos on their missions. This thing has 1.5 million pounds of power. Poundage power. I'm not going to get into the science of that. What I am going to get into is this. These are components of an F1 Rocketdyne engine, and here to tell us how they got here is Ted from the Museum of Flight. How did you guys get these here?
Well, this is a long journey when you figure that they started out on the ground. They boosted the Saturn V rocket up to about 40 miles. Then they fell back into the ocean, stayed there for 40 years until Bezos expeditions found them. They brought them up, restore them a bit, and now they're here.
Unbelievable. What a great treat that you have these here. Just so incredible to see history alive and rescued. Thank you so much, Ted. I want to show you guys something else. Come here. Some of these artifacts are absolutely incredible, mind-blowing. Check this out. This is Buzz Aldrin's actual helmet. All right, I'm going to get out of the way because this, you guys, that is this. When I first saw this today, I actually cried. Yeah, I'm going to admit I actually cried. And check out the secrets behind this. You can see if you look there, the writing. That was his cheat sheet for several things. And one of our favorite things was a secret note for what exactly?
There's actually a comment on that cheat sheet that says photograph boot print. So the iconic photograph of the first step on the moon. Somebody in NASA marketing gave Buzz a little reminder to make sure to grab that photograph.
See, important back then. By the way, hey, this is Kat. She is with the Smithsonian. Kat Halpern, you have been touring this beautiful thing. This is it. This is the Keystone, the cathedral, if you will, for several years. It's now in Seattle. Thank you for bringing it to us.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have it here.
Tell us all about it.
So what you're looking at is the Command Module Columbia. This is the only portion of the spacecraft that took the astronauts to the moon to come back complete to Earth. So you're really looking at a national treasure. It's an incredible piece of history.
I actually said when I first saw it, I likened it to seeing the Constitution for the first time. I mean, it is that incredible. But there's no glass separating it. You can really see all the detail. And speaking of detail, I just wanted to ask you one more thing. You can see, Jim, I don't know if you can like zoom in on that honeycomb pattern there. But it is very important, this heat shield. And if you want to come over here at some point, please, Kat, tell us about the manufacturing of this. Every single little hole you see there was filled by hand?
So the entire heat shield, it's a phenolic resin, and it was designed to keep the astronauts safe on this incredible journey. And yes, every single one of the over 372,000 plus cells was hand-filled with something that amounts to a caulking gun.
Wow.
And then it was checked to make sure that there weren't any air bubbles, any kind of abrasions, nothing that could possibly cause a problem. And so you see on the heat shield there are little circular marks, and those are actually places where after testing they went back in and drilled out a section that there might be an issue, refilled it to make sure that everything was perfectly ready to go.
When you look at everything here in this exhibit, you really start to see how hard they worked, how much technology, and when you think about the fact that technology has grown so much since then, I mean, literally, they were using slide rules to do calculations in the module. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, you got to come see this because it's going to blow your mind to infinity and beyond. So don't forget to check out this incredible exhibit, Destination Moon, the Apollo 11 exhibit at the Museum of Flight through September 2nd. You're not going to want to miss it.
For thousands of years, man has been looking to the heavens in search of answers. First, we wanted to know what was out there. Then we figured out how to get there.
0 and liftoff for the final launch of Endeavour, expanding our knowledge, expanding our lives in space.
But now scientists are trying to keep what's up there away from here.
It's going to come very close to the Earth on April 13th, 2029.
On that day, the asteroid Apophis, which is the size of 2 football fields, will fly by the blue planet. Scientists believe that the asteroid could be affected by Earth's gravitational pull, eventually spinning Apophis into our orbit.
To give you an idea of the size of this asteroid, Apophis is expected to be as large as 1 city block.
It would return 7 years later and actually hit the Earth on, again, April 13th, 2036, which turns out to be Easter Sunday.
Don Yeomans is the leading astronomer for NASA's Near-Earth Objects, or NEO, program.
It would be substantial regional devastation. We're not just talking a city or a county, we're talking a state-sized devastation area.
NASA's NEO program monitors comets and asteroids heading towards Earth.
Scientists are currently keeping an eye on 380 NEOs, or near-Earth objects, at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. As they get closer to Earth, the astronomers reassess them for the threat of Earth impact.
We asked NASA if they're confident they could save the world.
Yeah, we do have the technology to deal with them if we find them early enough. I like to say that the 3 most important criteria for near-Earth objects is we have to find them early, we have to find them early, and we have to find them early.
So let's say scientists found an asteroid bound for Earth. What then?
You can run into it with a spacecraft, slow it down so that it misses the Earth in 10 years' time. You could send a nuclear explosive device to either blow it up or slow it down.
And it's not necessarily the impact of the asteroid that would devastate our planet.
If a large enough object hit the Earth, it could create a worldwide dust cloud, blocking out the sun's light, killing the plants which sustain all life on Earth.
Right now, NASA has identified 90% of the largest asteroids coming towards Earth, including Apophis. Yeomans says almost none of them represent a threat for the next 100 years.
But there's still going to be small ones that are difficult to find because they're so small and so dim that are going to take us by surprise from time to time.
Although Yeomans says the threat of asteroids is not immediate, he stresses that we should one day look beyond Earth for a new home.
We have 2 choices. We can either expand our presence in the solar system or we can die because we're going to get hit sooner or later.